A long, long time ago, 2020 years ago, to be exact, in the year 0 or naught, a wife called Mary and a husband called Joseph were walking through the cold, dusty desert as another hot day ended in Bethlehem. Joseph looked anxious as he knocked from door to door, looking for a room to stay. He had good reason to be anxious. Mary was pregnant, and what's more, the baby inside was not an ordinary one. It was a magic one, given to her by an angel 9 months before. The angel told Mary that her baby boy will be the Messiah and save the world. No pressure then, thought Joseph, as he was once again refused entry into a hotel. At the same time, but a long, long way away, 3 wise men were gazing at the stars. Near the city of Jerusalem, they were looking for shapes, systems, and signs. "Look at this," said wise man number 1. "Could it be?" asked wise man number 2. "Yes, it is," cried wise man number 3. A new star was being born. It was so faint, but there was no doubt that it was coming. Meanwhile, Mary plodded along on her little donkey. Little donkey on the dusty road, got to keep on plodding onwards with your precious load. A hotel manager heard Mary singing and looked out of his window. He took pity on them. "I don't have any rooms available right now, but you can stay in my stable." Inside the stable there were some farm animals, a sheep, a cow, a horse, and even a little pig. Mary's donkey felt a little bit nervous, but all the animals simply nodded and welcomed him in. "Room for a little one?" he said. It was cold outside, but inside it was warm and dry. Joseph carried Mary onto the floor. Suddenly, Mary started to give birth. Joseph jumped down next to her and held her hand. "This is it," they both thought. At that exact same time, the 3 wise men noticed that the star was getting brighter and brighter, until at last they looked at each other and ran to the city. "A new star is born! A new ruler has come!" they chanted. In a different location, but at the same time, there were some shepherds tending their flock. An angel appeared to them and said that the Messiah who will save the world has been born. Follow the star and you will find him there. They followed the light and came to a shed where a mother and child were lying in bed. A bright light of silver shone round his head, and he had the face of an angel. And they were afraid. Mary, however, was relieved and overjoyed at giving birth to baby Jesus. She smiled at the 3 shepherds as they approached the door. Joseph, however, was not so friendly. "What are they doing here?" he wondered. The shepherds walked in and told them about the angel who had visited them. "A bright light appeared," said shepherd number 1. "It was an angel," said shepherd number 2. "It said, 'Follow the star. The Messiah is born,'" said shepherd number 3. And then they all stared at baby Jesus with their mouths open. Joseph nodded at them and gently put baby Jesus in the manger. Back in the city, the three wise men ran wildly to the king's palace. They knew that a star meant that a new ruler was born. In their minds, they thought this must mean that King Herod and his queen had had a baby. "What are you talking about?" said King Herod. "We're not expecting a baby." "Babies? Who needs babies?" The wise men told him of the star. King Herod's face suddenly darkened. "A new ruler? To replace me? This will not do," he considered. In the next moment, he said, "If there is to be a new ruler, he should be in this palace with me. Bring him here and I will care for him." The three wise men set off on their camels. They of course followed the star. "We shouldn't arrive empty-handed," said wise man number 1. "Let's bring the finest gifts then," said wise man number 2. "I know just what to bring," said wise man number 3. Gold, for kings and queens, like a star, it's always shining. Frankincense, a delight to breathe in, filling your senses to the brim. Myrrh, an oil for preserving skin, all these gifts were brought for him. The wise men arrived, and while the wise men were giving the gifts in the stable, outside there was a painter, and he was painting what he saw. In the middle is baby Jesus, in a manger, sleeping peacefully on the hay. Either side is Mary and Joseph, who are wondering at the little miracle before them, while occasionally gazing at each other lovingly. Behind them stand 6 strangers, men who had fought wolves to protect their flock in the cold winter nights, and men who had debated about the nature of God and the cosmos until sunrise, all in this moment united by the miracle and wonder of the baby and the life. Even the animals are doing their best to look thoughtful and to smile. Outside the stable there is a warm glow that radiates out into the cold night. It can be seen for miles around. It's just like a star. The painter finishes painting and writes the Nativity Story. All across England and around the world you will find this image at this time of year, and now you know what it's all about. As for King Herod, needless to say, but he was furious because the wise men never returned. They were, after all, wise. Instead, they warned Mary and Joseph to leave Israel and go to Egypt, and this is how Jesus survived. And that's good news. So, there's just one more thing to say, and that is, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Goodbye!